I don't know. Well, we have Cori-Steel Cutter, so I'll keep, but this is on the... Well, this is trusting in the Steel Cutter. Definitely. Type hand. Your sub is old enough to drink now. How old is it? 1 year subscriber. Yeah, 1-year-olds definitely could drink. 21 months, yeah, certainly. I guess we drew land number 3, so I can stock up on 3. It's a bit slow, but that's perfectly fine against Ores of Pixie or whatever it is. Interesting. Island talent is not out of the question. I think it actually makes plenty of sense, honestly. Although it would also be very nice to suspend a show-off, but... Well, we drew land, so fuck me, bros. How about stock up again? Okay. What if I take 2 steel cutters? Do I need to remove the preacher? I don't really. Probably should keep Into the Flood Maw as a lockdown. I can let my opponent double trigger, that's fine. Arching of the Crows, okay. That's perfectly fine with me. So I definitely play Cutter. What comes next? I'll probably opt and then kill my opponent. Maybe. I don't know how much damage I deal. I mean, this is not great, but it's fine. No reason to put it away, and I just attack now. Or should I have bounced and then attacked? Would that be lethal? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I rage, then we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5, 5, 4, 4. Here we trample 2. Here we trample 7. So that's 9. Here deal 8. That's 15. So that's not lethal. If I rage something else, that sounds good. Is Floodman Rage lethal? I don't think so, because then I don't give trample to the other guy. Maybe pre-combat Rage was... I think pre-combat bounce Archfiend and then attack with Rage was lethal. Or Floodman double Rage, I also could have done that, I cast Opt, so I definitely had lethal if I stopped myself before casting Opt. Seems like Opt Rage was also lethal though. Against a deck that seems like a mono, like the mono black deck splashing white. Test. I don't know what's happening lately. My technical side of the stream is falling apart, and I just say I will fix that after the stream and then I forget. That's just how it's gonna be from now on, so let's keep. That said, I was saying that I would not really want to play more than 2 Thundering Falls anyways. That sounds like too many. So I don't know if it's so diabolical to play just 2. Swamp. Well, I guess if they play the dark, deep cavern bots, then it would be good to keep some burst lightnings. Breacher. Well, that is not ideal. Do we play Witch Stalker? Witch Stalker? No? Oh no, I can't kill that. What is this art? A Witch Stalker Frenzy. Okay, I have other removal. Oh yeah, Ral, save me, please. Where's my Ral? Oh yeah. So if they splash for pest control, I guess that makes me want to cut more Swiftspears. We played Orzhov Pixie with Elenda, budget slot for Shieldred last night at Champs. Took third with no reps, had fun. Damn. Good job. I'll block. Dobra. Karshi Revenant seems a little bit problematic, but I guess I'll cut Swiftspears for torches. Does that make sense? Alright, I guess I will lose this game, so let's concede and play game 3, given that round 3 of Modern starts really soon. Maybe I should play Drake Hatcher if they play Pest Control. Should I Spell Pierce, another Torch. Torch only good if I deal 3 damage to their monster. Maybe I should play Abrade instead of a Torch. How did Pioneer go? I went 2-2 and then I dropped mid-match 3 because the modern one started. They probably bring in 2 Loran. Okay. What am I supposed to do about it? Imagine if Thundering Force was a mountain, huh? You would mulligan. And I keep... Yeah, great hand. Modern challenge, last scene deck borrows energy on the play against energy once again, huh? This I should mulligan. This I should keep. Probably not interested in drawing another talent next turn. Common Thundering Force L. Is it an L? I don't know, buddy. Like, it kinda is a kind of a win. I have pest control. Am I supposed to not play my talent? Given that I am double queuing, I probably will. But if I were playing for $10,000 million at the Giga Pro Tour of the Universe, would I play my second talent in this spot? I don't know if I would have the balls. Well, deep covered butt. Ha ha ha, saved by the top of your deck. No, I surveilled bottom. I surveilled to my graveyard, so... Come on, buddy. How can you say that? Can you say things like this? Next turn we are gonna hatch some drakes. Breacher. Ooh. Drake Hatcher doesn't look like a person with prowess, frankly. Yet, first impressions can be deceiving. Wow, Preacher is such a good card, yeah. Ends like this are a challenge. It's not really a great keep, except for like being good on turns 1 or 2. Let's see what happens if I keep. Will I be punished by flooding and dying, or will I draw runner spells and the hand is gonna be perfectly fine? I guess I'm more likely to flood than I'm to not to flood, but yeah, that's often an issue, Bavaz. You need a committed leader of the shitty archetype to produce good lists, and if there is no one doing that, then rough times. Portlanders are tough with blue-red, I agree. Villain is an Omni gamer for sure, Mr. Manland MTGO. So I'll play a Slickshot Show-Off, just dealing 2 damage, then we can pierce a lockdown and hopefully kill in time. Founding the third path. You may cast an instant or sorcery, Moment of Truth, fine. Have I considered trying Living End? It seems to have some good results. I have not, no. Not much interest in that. Now I wish I had plotted my Show-Off, as I got heavily punished by drawing the Cutter. Let's count the damages. Well, so we deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point goes to 12. Then next turn, this deals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess with any spell we're gonna win. So I just hold up Pierce. Let's hold up with Shivan Reef just to put that little bit of uncertainty in my opponent. Doesn't really matter if they win, it's by dealing damage. Milled over a lockdown. Plus Zona. Oh no, Cavern of Souls on lockdown. That's horrible. Thundering Falls. That is horrible. Yeah, opponent did not Cavern on lockdown. I will simply attack for 2, which is not awesome, but if I do it differently, then if I equip, then well, I should equip now post-combat actually, but if I equip pre-combat and get hit by Faras Dispersal, it's no good. Riddle resolves. Woodkit to the Wilder from Death Stranding 2 on the beach. There was a Death Stranding 2. That's crazy. But yeah, we should still be good, and if I draw any spell, then we can kill next turn. Coming out in June. Alright, so it's not out yet. Not that I ever played the first one. Spell. Alright, should be easy victory now. Well, maybe not, I guess, but should be alright. Borscht Lightning. Opponent still has no Omni in their graveyard, so I don't know how I lose. I guess I lose to Lockdown. And they have 5 mana. And they can't close. But yeah, I just have a Show-Off. So I'm actually fine. If that happens, put Seacrom Coast and Moment of Truth into their graveyard. Is there any way I lose if I cast a Monstrous Rage? There probably isn't if I'm correct, so I'll just let the priority pass happen and I don't know what villain can do. Because even if villain had Spell Pierce for my Spell Pierce, I have the mana to pay. Lethal message spotted. You say that as the DB canister wins message pops up. Truly curious. Alright, Ghost Coom in. Into the Flood Maw in. Spell Pierce in. Ral Crackling Wit. Oh, let's try that. Some people like to do weird stuff with Omni post board. We're going to remove Borscht Lightnings. And then one more card. No dobra, lecimy Monsterek 1. We might be reducing the damage output of my deck a little bit, but it'll be fine. Submit. You like Lynx over Ral? Let's Ral. After all, I would like to, at some point, finally activate the -10 ability and grant Storm to all of my Monstrous Rages. And Lynx is much more boring and much less interesting. Alright, so a hand like this is only alright if I draw a second land, and it has to be a specific second land. One of 17 lands. Thundering Falls, I guess it's alright. So if I draw a Verge, it's going to be horrible and I can't do anything. There's no Vacuum, there's no Cutter. So let's probably just mulligan, yeah. Yeah, this is alright. Could perhaps put back a Show-Off or a Cantrip, I think, or maybe the stock up, but I don't think so. I want to have the stock up to rebuild from mulliganing, and I already have the Vacuum, so that's fine. Let's put back up. Find a red source with Sleight of Hand, suspend the Show-Off, then if I'm able to stock up on turn 3, stock up. If not, then Alright, so what now? Because now I might be actually incentivized to vacuum. It's not great to vacuum if my opponent sees it, they get to just not discard Omni. But it will let me cast a turn 3 stock up, so I think I will actually play it. A disaster scenario would be getting a Spell Pierce perhaps, but I think the curve is just too enticing, and if my opponent, you know, doesn't cast a discard spell to discard Omni, I'm fine with that. Let's plot. Maybe it's wasting damage, but there is a chance it doesn't, and it's also much better against lockdown, so I guess it's not really all that hard to... Like, it would be kind of wild to play the Show-Off in this spot into the lockdown, I think. Into a pretty clean turn 3 lockdown for villain. Ooh, missing a land drop. Chat, this Omni deck looks not so good. In that case, the Show-Off hits for 3 damage if I just stock up this turn. I could also hit Giga Hard. The hitting Giga Hard mode would be 5 plus 3, 8. So it's not that hard. One did miss a fat land drop. If they hit it in lockdown, so be it. I have a good chance of finding a Into the Flood Maw. Interesting. Second Swiftspear makes no sense. Monstrous Rage for tons of damage makes some sense. Maybe it's just 2 Spell Pierces though. Given that the opponent is mana screwed. I'm not super sure on that, but a mana screwed opponent is generally speaking weaker against Spell Pierces than a non-mana screwed opponent. This deck sucks so much, lol. Do we think he was talking about Omni or my deck? Hello there. Should we keep? Well, I have 2 lands and a Cori-Steel Cutter, so I will simply skip my turn 1. Monastery Swiftspear. I mean, it still seems like the only sensible way to play. Stormchaser's talent seems not particularly helpful. I want a painless land, really. That would be what I want to draw. Only Mon-Red gamers run that mountain. Seems like it. I could summon a Swiftspear and shock a Hired Claw. Then next turn I can hopefully Cutter with a spell. If I just summon a Cutter, that's just too weak, I think. Hopefully I will draw a Spirebluff Canal. Teresa. So I go to 11. They discarded Manifold Mouse but kept the other card. No i pizda, dupa, szmata, cipa, nic nie można zrobić. I believe we are on no outs. If I attack with Show-Off, my opponent goes to 16, then next turn they attack me for 5 and play something unreasonable. And then I play Rage, Slide. Or Swiftspear Rage. That's less damage. So Slide, Rage, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 6, so I could even plot. But if they have a 1-1 jumping, then I can't. So Slide per Mountain Rage, let off next. Well, I get 3 looks at a mountain with Slide next turn, so I think that is better than doing it the other way around. No i dawaj, oponent. Souls on Sanctuary. Summon your what? Not Sunspine Lynx. Alright, attack with everyone. Monstrous Rage, Monstrous Rage. Witch Stalker Frenzy, alright. How do I survive this turn? The simple answer is I don't, but let's say my opponent has a land somehow in their hand. Then I guess the most surviving option is to play 2 blockers and just block. Again, I play a land, activate Souls on Sanctuary. I need to charm 2 sanctuaries. After which I untap and, well, we'll see. I guess I could attack with 1 creature. I should attack with 1 creature. Because realistically, that's the only thing I can beat. Which they're doing, so missing damage was actually really bad. Well, actually it is not, because now I can use my Shivan Reef to actually cast a spell, so I actually knew what I wanted to do. Because I do need to keep it in play. Available to be tapped, so I can drop to 1 life. Show off? No, throw off chyba, nie? If I hit a 1-mana spell or a land, then perhaps we could do something. But now we're gonna be too short. Will we? Yeah, we will. If I play a shove, then I have a 2-2, 2-2, 1-2, and 1 rage doesn't do that. Did the top land cost me the game? I guess not really. Just being on a draw cost me the game. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 12 damage, which is like not too far, but now against mono red, we will bring Touch the Tower. Not a fan of Spellpiercer. Not a big fan of Slickshot Show, but also not a big hater. Into the Flood Maw, really useful against Screaming Nemesis. I'm on the play, so I want to attack, and of course Drake Hatcher will come in, being a high toughness creature. If I played a Swiftspear on turn 3, then my creature would get hit by a removal spell, and the outcome would be fairly similar, I think. Alright, not sure what to cut against mono red, so we're going to perform a Trimmage. $61. Better ratio on the play. Perfect ratio of cheap cards to expensive cards to lands to spells. This is alright. A bit tough to keep Into the Flood Maw on a mulligan, but I think I will. Crybug. Oh, Shivan Reef. Alright, talent to this. Okay. Less okay. No nie. This is so sad. The only reasonable play seems to be summoning the Drake Hatcher. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. But it's pretty rough. Would be nicer to perhaps Cori-Steel Cutter plus bounce the Hardfire hero, but well, beggars can't be choosers and hit me for free. Mage Bane Lizard, more like Mage Yebana Lizard I am. Cori, two Shivan Reefs by the way. Cori, I don't know, double Borsch Lightning. Niedobrze. Bouncing the Lizard. Niedobrze. I take 3 damage, 4 damage to cast my staff this turn. I think I will play Cori, then attack. Maybe Cori is a bad play because expecting it to trigger multiple times this game is not, it's not really happening. Can I solo with Drake Hatcher if I bounce the Hardfire hero? Maybe I can. Can I Borsch Lightning the Mage Bane Lizard? Twice. Then bounce a Hardfire hero, take 5 damage total. 5 damage total. I think villain chumps with Hardfire hero. I wouldn't think they would do that. I think I do prefer the play of playing a Cori and attacking. Do jump now. They do not jump. Curious. So I'll go to 7. And if they have some spells, then it's gonna be rough, but maybe I can beat some. Maybe I can beat a handful of lands. And I have Cori with 2 spells in my hand for the next turn, 2 interactive spells. So I do like that. It's part of my position. Can't really block the Hardfire hero with trample. Screaming Nemesis. No, dobrze. I mean, I say dobrze, but it's actually giga chujowo. Ja pierdolę, no. Just go down to 1 no matter what I do. I mean, I can jump with Drake Hatcher on the Screaming Nemesis. Then I don't go to 1. But Shivan Reefs are just killing me this game. Honestly, if what if I just replace Shivan Reefs with 2 Island, 2 Mountain? Wouldn't my deck just be better? This is essentially unblockable. This is also essentially unblockable. No przejebane jest, no nic się tu nie da zrobić, no. Przejebane Painlandy zasrane. Dobra, biorę na pizdę i podbieram kartę i się poddaję. Island, okay. It definitely is a land, so the name is appropriate. First league loss, absolutely demolished by Shivan Reefs. Even against Drake Hatcher's best attempts at improving my situation, but yeah. A mulligan. This is pretty good though. Tough decision on what to put back. Could just be Swiftspear. It probably just is, and hope that Opt finds me another spell for Seal Cutter if I don't draw land free by turn 3. Alternatively, I can just draw the land number 3 and play stock up. If I draw 2 lands, then I definitely just take turn 3 off to stock up, find 2 more spells, and then we prowess pretty hard. Yeah, I mean the alternative would be to put back Stockout. That sounds worse on the play. Could then go Swiftspear Opt on turn 2 and then like attack a bit harder, but I think I'm fine. Given the island in my hand, I also want to keep Opt over a Swiftspear. I think this hand and being on the play just makes me want to play the Cutter. I guaranteed triggering Cutter on the next turn, and ideally I can find land number 3 next turn with my draw step or the Opt. Then I can stock up on turn 4, find a land and a spell, cast it. So now I Opt, hit the land, play second Steel Cutter. Seems reasonable. Opponent paying costs. Monstrous Rage. I'm at 9 life only. Teraz tutaj zrobiłem. Whoops. Should play the island first. Doesn't matter. Swiftspear Show-Off, the best. Do I kill my opponent first? Let's see. Ideal. Well, I guess I can. It's clear that I should take those two anyways, regardless whether I kill them or not. What is it? Let's think. Okay, so Island, Talent. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are not close to killing, which means I should probably just not attack at all. If I can just make a big turn that actually kills my opponent next turn, in order not to die. Am I going to play Dom's Neoform list? Exactly, yeah. Could take Swiftspear Talent to be able to draw any spell for even more triggers, or could just stock up into a land plus spell next turn to hit even harder, and then just this turn I'm gonna be blocking, and next turn I'll assuredly kill, I think. So it does make sense to take those two. Play any order and put the Stormchaseros. Two monsters already have trample, so blocking is gonna be challenging. Challenging. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems incredibly hard to decide what's the actual wise way to play around anything and block in a way that makes me survive. I will attack with one otter for the so-called lulz to deal 3 damage just to kill my opponent next turn for actual sure, not to fall short on damages and hopefully survive. But that decision is it's kind of wonky. It's not like I really know. And the decision tree seems so large and sprawling that it's hard to actually get informed. Opponent plays Torch at Sorcery, which seems 2 point, the last mana will go towards either a Borscht Lightning or Monstrous Rage. Given that they have tramplers in play, they would likely just do differently. I can't really beat another monster. Energy Rage, so... Well, I can barely beat anything. Can I beat Burst Lightning? Or a bounce spell? Not really, I die to a bounce spell. Alright, so I guess keeping another blocker would actually make a difference and let me survive, and then I could try to assemble lethal, but going for 13 damage would be pretty rough. Seems like Monstrous Rage is actually the best deck, the best card ever then. Just casting it means that you deal infinite damage and never lose. Am I preparing for a tournament, or why do I play Standard? I play Standard because I find it the most challenging, fun, and skill intensive format where you get to really just do stuff and express your skill. Support Abrade. Fiery Annihilation is maybe a bit sus, but for science. Use Lithomantic Barrage to answer opposing Drake Archers. Could be a way to do things. Spell Pierce. That leaves us with 65 cards, which is a lot. I am on the play, so I'm not really into trimming Monstrous Rage all that much. Also with Hatcher. So we're gonna have to perform some trimming. Alright, Fiery Annihilation is probably too ambitious. It seems like it's gonna be impossible to line it up correctly. And we're gonna go with 61 for the better ratio. I am also playing at the Pro Tour in Las Vegas. Sand is shit, but I guess it's gonna be good if I just draw around the lands. In those hands already you have a decision if you Swiftspear or Slide, but I think I can... I don't know, will I be lucky? I'll be lucky. Did I know that Grzesiu Pomarańczka is a stand-up comedian? Does he have any recordings of his comedies on YouTube that we could watch? Holy shit. That's crazy. That's a piece of trivia I had no idea about. This is tricky. If I draw a land, I really don't want to opt. How crazy is it not to opt? Well, it seems like it was crazy. I summon Cori-Steel Cutter. Will you spell pierce it or anything like that? Nope. If I torch the Swiftspear now, that does prompt my opponent to act, which is honestly probably not so bad. Well, they could attack. They could use a removal spell on one of my monks though. Because it makes monks first. I think it seems wiser to Sleight of Hand, but not in Giga Love with my position, maybe. I guess I don't hate it either. It's fine. I don't think Stormchaser's talent is gonna do anything for me. Except for maybe bargaining torch, but in a pinch I can already do that. So I think the torch is slightly more likely to be relevant. If I can cast 4 spells next turn, I should be good. They got prompted to cast a torch anyway, so that's good. So with 2 cards, I intuitively don't think they can deal 16 damage to me. Alright, stock up. Is there a rule of thumb, order, or choosing whether to opt or slide first if you're main facing them? Well, slide has a better effect than is a sorcery, so it's better to hold opt, just in general. But it also depends, so there is not really, I guess, no rule of thumb. Given that you also might find a spell that, like if you're looking for, well, Sleight of Hand gives you information differently. More info on the decision. It's kind of like the same decision that as opt, but slide reveals to you both of the cards immediately and opt doesn't. So it's literally the Monty Hall problem. We can probably apply that. Can I kill my opponent this turn? Maybe not. Kill Otter. Half. 3/3, 2/2, 2/2. Then should 2, 2, 2, 2. Then I need to deal 10 damage. This deals 3 more. Nie, to będzie 4. Kurwa, ile on będzie? Ja pierdolę. To będzie 3/3. 3/3, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that one short? Is that really one short? 2, 2, 3, 3. I do count 16 as well. One short. Well, blocking is horrible. But it might be a spot where I'm supposed to actually block. I make monks on my opponent's turn. Once again, hard to know if one should attack or not, but let's say I do with a 3/3. Just to make it easier to actually win next turn. This time it's gonna be dependent on whether I'll draw something, of course, but I am hoping I will. Should I torch the otter? No. Let's say that's the time. Pierce first. I don't actually know. I don't think so. Because I can pierce something better than the cutter. If they play an instant, I can pierce the instant and not the cutter, which I think it's not gonna be relevant this game anymore. So I can pierce this rage now, which seems way better. Ale nasrało triggerów. What is the percentage chance of resolving the stack correctly? IRL. Fully. It's probably in the 70s. I mean, I don't know if equipping is good for me right now. I don't think so. I want the jumpers to be small and the big blockers to be big. So now my opponent gets a Cori-Steel Cutter in play, but it's pretty bad. And the otter still dies, so they still need to cast something to save it. Opponent declined to use the Steel Cutter. Into the Flood Maw. Sure. So that saves the otter. And opponent has no cards. I guess I just need to draw a spell and then I will be probably good. And if I don't, I will not. They're obviously inclined to attack. So I also have to consider the blocks here. 0% if you're playing, 100% if 31 is playing. Sounds truthful. So I have to count lethal on my own. Means I guess to survive I need to block 2 things. So this is the least I can do. And then if I draw a spell, given that I need to cast the Rage, that's Sorcery Speed. To nie ma trampla, nie? Bo to monster jakby skontrowany, tak. Idly I just draw Opt or Stock Up and then I have way more than I need, but I draw a fucking Shivan Reef and almost die. No dobra, chuj mi w dupę i na imię, no co tu dużo mówić. If my opponent draws a land, then they can make a 3/3 at best. I guess I want 2/2s. So I don't need to cast my monster. No tak, jeszcze musi być Spirebluff with the talent on board, so I guess odds are slim. Thank you very much, Maximilian III. Given the pause, they 1000% drew Spirebluff Canal, or they just went to P and they're gonna be back. Dobra, no dobra, kozaczek. Monstrous Energy Rage. Really? Well, that's fine. It kills me, so no blocks. So Monstrous Rage is both the best and the worst card in the mirror match. That's my evaluation of the card. Let's keep. What did you play? Take a wild guess, my friend. It starts with Amu and ends with Lead Titan. Finals was a mirror. Another Spirebluff Canal. Pretty interesting games nonetheless, even though I lost them the match previously. I failed to win 2 games on the play. Talent number 2 seems excellent. Your sad song did not deliver for you at your RCQ. Maybe someday, but not today. Discard Oichulus. Is it reasonable to cast a Sleight of Hand this turn to get in for 4 damage? What I think I should actually do is I should attack, because opponent cannot block really. Get in for 2 and stock up past combat. Into the Flood Maw, if my opponent reanimates, is Ochulus plus either just more opts or maybe Monstrous Rage. But I think more opts is what I need. I have too many lands in my hand to spend cards on Monstrous Rage right now. Maybe I want another Stormchaser's talent, but that... well, let's think about that. Another talent, just more otters with prowess. I don't think that translates to more damage than just taking an opt. Also has a lower ceiling, I'll prefer to take those two. Alright. Is the Neoform deck real? We're gonna find out today. Prof's Idiotic Memory. Into Boom Boom Boom. Helping Hand. Sad. Oh yeah, attack me, buddy. Sorin version of Neoform? No, way different Neoform. You'll see. Great draw. Borscht Lightning. Time to count damages. Bounce Blocker. Borscht Lightning Face. Lightning Rage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. 15. Damage counted successfully. Let's hope I did not mess up while counting. Alright, exactly 13. Have I tried it already? I have not. We're gonna be playing it today. Is Drake Hatcher alright against the Torch the Tower deck? Having perhaps some trouble killing the 1-3 sometimes. They don't have that much to sacrifice to bargain. At the same time, Drake Hatcher maybe... Well, I have no idea, so I guess we'll try it out, maybe. I want Flood Maw. Removal that kills Oichulus. The Fiery Annihilation. The Fiery Annihilation card is, I think, just too bad to play, but let's continue playing it. And we're going to introduce Ghost Vacuum into my deck as well. I don't think I like Spell Pierce. I don't think I like Borscht Lightning much. Don't think I love Show-Off, and we bring in the other 2-drop. And I guess we can trim 1 Swiftspear, 1 Rage, and play 61 because that's been my style. Makes sense. No Rish. I don't think I like Rish against Oichulus. It's a racing matchup. They do have mono non-basics though, but they will not really have... They will often have like only 3 lands in play. Sounds really bad to me, actually. Are you as hyped as about the new Izzet Legend as you are? Well, I don't, probably. Seems pretty... Given that I don't know how hyped you are, it's hard to say. You like cutting all show-offs, makes sense. Need a Monstrous Rage for show-off to really do anything. Shivan Reef is honestly horrible. I think I'll cast a slide, but let's grab a Ghost Vacuum maybe. This game might go a bit longer. They have an artifact to torch my Hatcher easily, but maybe they won't have the removal, and then Hatcher can be incredible. Sheltered by Ghost, that's fine. I say that's fine, but it's really not, but we put it on a red creature, which makes sense. Guess I have to stock up and find an answer to Sheltered. Cori. Fiery Rage, so I can block. Wow, stock up, very strong, isn't it? It's really good. No nie, my Ghost Vacuum has been late. Oj, oj, oj. A ten skąd tu się wyskoczył, kurwa, Oculus zafajdolony. Spell Pierce on top, dobra, brother, I concede. You have bested me. Let's do the show-off cards entirely, and maybe I can... I can play Spell Pierce against them on the play. ×1. Yeah, let's try that. Ale gówno. No right hand, just 2 Shivan Reef, so let's put back 1. You like Lynx on the play, that's crazy. It's crazy of you to like Lynx on the play, my friend. Truly baffling. Makes sense though. Mako, smiley face. I'm glad it just gives you so much happiness to see Marauding Mako and play Da Vinci. Time for villain to play Sheltered by Ghosts on Marauding Mako, and then somehow I lose to it. Abrade my Drake Hatcher, that's alright. The 1-mana spell is really good here, as I get to just play a Cori-Steel Cutter and dominate. Thundering Falls, not today. Island, much better, frankly, as it lets me go Island, stock up, and play a blue or red spell next turn. They do have Sheltered by Ghosts, so a 2-1 Lifelink Ward 2 monster. Sure. Funnily, I can kill it with Lithomantic Barrage right now. It took the cutter after long deliberation, which doesn't surprise me. Spell Pierce would be disastrous, but it's gonna be a bit hard later on nonetheless, so I will stock up and hope it's just gonna resolve. It resolved. I have found Lithomantic Barrage, awesome. And let's also grab a Sleight of Hand. Let's read Lithomantic Barrage. Can't be countered, deals 1 damage, target creature or planeswalker. Creature, Shark Pirate, let's go. Which I think puts my opponent in a unwinnable position. They have Into the Flood Maw against me, which is interesting. I wouldn't expect them to board in such a card. I don't think it's the type of interaction that's particularly desirable from their side, but well, they can come back into the game if they helping hand the Oichulus, which they did. Okay. Tough. An option would be to return the Barrage and just kill the Oculus again. Which is a very weak turn. But if Oculus lives, then all of my turns forever are gonna be weak. So I'm actually alright with that. They also get a free Tersha card. Well, sure. There is a good chance they'll flip something good. They have mono spells in hand somehow. Alright, they don't get a card now? That's really bad. I think they should attack with Tersha. Discards Ochulus. That's crazy. And now you attack? Exile's Helping Hand? Alright. This is crazy. But this game looked better a minute ago. Although my attack this turn is pretty powerful as well. Your move. Cycle Mako. Instead of perhaps attacking with Tersha first. Oh wow, double combat Tersha, that's kinda crazy actually, I didn't even think of that. Sheltered by Ghosts, alright. We played an Inspiring Vantage this turn already. Thing I bounce is a bit weird versus Spell Pierce. But it seems like we have achieved our victory. We have defeated the Oichul's deck, so I lost versus Monred and versus the Prowess Mirror, which are the hardest matchups for me always. I never really do great in aggressive mirrors. I find them really hard to play and really hard to adjust whether I should be the aggressor or the defender on the fly. Really challenging.